am celebrating my 100th member. So exciting. Um, if you like the videos, be sure to like them and subscribe below, share with your friends. Today we are talking about what happens when our emotions are overwhelming. I'm probably going to specifically focus on when we feel anxious. I touch my chest when I say that because where I usually feel anxiety, fortunately I don't feel it very often anymore, but where I usually feel it is right here in my chest, just kind of like a feeling. And you might be able to relate to that. But it could be actually any emotion. You may be feeling overwhelmed with sadness. You might be feeling overwhelmed with grief, which is a little bit different. You might be feeling overwhelmed with anger, with frustration, with confusion, whatever that is. When you get to the point where you're feeling overwhelmed, here's a little bit of tapping that you can do for that. So please take responsibility for yourself as we go through this experience together, and comment if you have felt a change as you did the EFT with me. So doing like Simon Says, sorry, I forgot to turn my phone ringer off. Doing like Simon Says, doing what I do and saying what I say, just follow along and see if it helps. The first thing that I would recommend to do when you're feeling overwhelmed by any emotion is to really stop and get present. If you're not in any kind of a dangerous situation, or if you're not in a situation where, or if you're in a situation where you can't control what's going on around you, it might not be as easy to do. But if you're by yourself or you're in a situation that's not dangerous or isn't ongoing, you can just really stop. Just stop, and you can say to yourself, stop, just stop. Um, Depending on the emotion, you can close your eyes, but if closing your eyes causes you to have more anxiety or feelings of depression or racing thoughts or going back to memories that you don't want to experience, then don't close your eyes. Instead, just be present with your surroundings. So look around and say, like right now, I could say, I'm sitting in my office, I'm sitting in a chair, and I'm safe, I'm okay, and I'm just going to stop, and I'm just going to breathe and take a few deep breaths. So what I recommend is breathing down into your belly. That connects to, when you do that, when you breathe down into your belly, that connects with the vagus nerve in your brain, and it helps soothe and calm kind of everything. So just breathe in through your nose to the count of 4 or 5, down into your belly, and then breathe out 4 or 5, and then take a pause, and just do that 3 or 4 times. And that should help. But if you're still feeling overwhelmed by whatever that feeling is, and today I'm going to say anxiety, or feeling anxious, then just tap along with this video. So here we go. Even though I'm feeling completely overwhelmed with this emotion. So I'm going to start generally, but you can put in the emotion that you're feeling. I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm feeling completely overwhelmed and sad, afraid, anxious, whatever, I deeply and completely accept myself. Also, on a scale of 0 to 10, where are you feeling that? How high is it? 10 is way too high to handle, and maybe you feel like you're over a 10, or 0 is you're cool as a cucumber. So how high is that amount, and where do you feel that in your body? And even though I feel so overwhelmed with this emotion, I deeply and completely accept myself. I'm really okay right now. I'm in this room. I'm looking at the things around me. I'm feeling overwhelmed, but I'm okay. And I'm going to be okay. I just feel this overwhelm. So overwhelmed. And take a deep breath. Okay, now tune back into where you were feeling that feeling and just rate it again. Has it gone down 1 or 2, 3 or 4? Just make note of that. And we just do another round. This time I'm going to say anxious. Even though I'm feeling so overwhelmed and anxious, I deeply and completely accept myself. It's going to be okay. Even though I'm feeling overwhelmed and anxious, it's so overwhelming. I completely accept myself. You can change the phrasing a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect every time. Even though I feel so anxious and it's overwhelming, I accept myself anyway. This overwhelm and anxious. I feel so anxious. I have anxious thoughts. I have anxious emotions. I can feel the anxiety in my body. I don't want to feel this way. I feel so anxious. I feel so anxious. I'm having these thoughts that, and those thoughts are making me feel so anxious. I don't know why I have these thoughts, but they keep coming up. I don't want them. I want to reject them. I feel so anxious. But I'm open to the idea of feeling peace. And take a deep breath. Okay, tune in again. Like I said, for me, I usually feel it here. I'm not feeling it right now, so I'm just doing this for a demonstration. But has it gone down another point or two, or 3 or 4? Are you at a 0? Are you at a 1? I'm just going to go again for a few more rounds because I think this one is so important. Please take responsibility for yourself. If you have a counselor, a therapist, or a doctor that you need to see, obviously you should go and do that. And then maybe this can help when you're not with those counselors or therapists or doctors. So another round. Even though I still feel anxious or I still feel overwhelmed by, put your emotion in, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm feeling this anxiety, I feel so anxious. I accept myself anyway. Even though I feel anxious, I want to feel peace instead. And I love and accept myself. I still feel anxious. My thoughts are still anxious. Maybe I can let go of those thoughts. Maybe I could choose another thought. Maybe I can choose the opposite of the thought that's giving me anxiety. I want to choose to feel peace. I choose to feel peace. I want this peace. I want to create peaceful thoughts. I want to create peaceful feelings. This overwhelm and anxiety. This overwhelm and feeling anxious. I choose peace instead. I choose loving thoughts. I choose loving thoughts toward myself. I choose kind thoughts toward myself. I prefer peace. I prefer peaceful thoughts. I prefer peaceful feelings. I prefer feeling peaceful in my body. Letting go of these anxious thoughts and feelings. Letting go of this stress. Embracing peace. Choosing peace. And take a deep breath. I hope that was helpful. And if you're not completely relieved and not feeling at peace, go back to about 3 minutes where we started and do it again. Do it every day until you're feeling better. And let me know in the comments below, and please subscribe. Thank you.